Welcome to Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, President of Performance Strategies and Diane Bogino Development. Our guest today is June Cline. June is a longtime financial literacy consultant, speaker, humorist, author, and entrepreneur. Helping people has always been important to June, and if your goal is making life feel better and easier, June's goal is to show you how to get there both professionally and personally. June, thank you for being on the program today. It's so good to see you.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to be seen in this day and time. And it's always so good to see you. Congratulations on your new platform, venue, whatever you want to call it. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So now, June, people typically don't associate humor with money, especially when they're in debt. So how do you help people when their lives seem to be spinning out of control?
So you mean money just isn't funny? I mean, who'd have thunk that? You know, the funny thing about money. It is a difficult time when you don't have any. And that's the whole point and process of my new ebook, and where I'm taking people is what I call the BOP method, the BOP principle. If you've ever been bopped upside the head by your finances because you don't have any, then it's time to start a process.
So, well, tell me about your ebook. What's the title?
Funny Thing About Money.
Okay, and where can we get it?
Well, you can go to funnythingaboutmoney.com, and by the end of July, there should be a downloadable book right there, so that when you click on the button, that you all will automatically receive it. It's in its being read process now by people that will tell me this either sucks or it's really great, or you need to change that. So I've got some readers looking at it right now.
Okay, great. Well, I'll be looking for that for sure. So, June, I've known you as a successful humorist, speaker, author. And so how do you relate to your clients around financial worries?
Well, it's interesting because I've been there myself, and because I started and found a process and started it, and now it's making things, as I like to say, mo better. Then I just wanted to tell my money mess, which is embarrassing. And it's kind of like opening the kimono and going, do I really want to do this? And as a humorist, I did want to funny it up. But you know what I did find out? Money ain't funny. Money isn't funny, especially if you don't have any. But I tell some stories and some things that I hope people can relate to in their money mess, and help them start a process.
Yeah, well, it certainly happens to a lot of people for sure. So tell our viewers how you work with them, though, to begin building a better financial future.
Well, what I'm doing is I have the website now, and they can click on the button right there that says to have a money conversation with me, and I want people to feel safe. It's embarrassing, and it's a very private situation when you're talking about people's money. So I have a calendar on Calendly where people can touch base. We'll talk for 30 minutes, and I will step them deeper into the process, and it's either for them or it's not, and either way is okay.
Okay, good. And so how can they stay on the right track with their financial plan? Because, some people will start something and then they fall off the wagon, so to speak. So do you help them with that?
Well, it is a process, and it is about discipline. The BOP principle for me stands for build, organize, and protect. And so we have to look at building. As a matter of fact, I have 3 areas in both of those: build, organize, and protect. So I'll just give you one of each. So the first one is decide, and build is decide. And that may sound stupid. I even say in my book, what are you talking about, June? If I could decide, I'd already be rich. I'd already have it. Well, it's a titch, as I like to say, it's a titch more complex than that. So we'll go into that and how you really have to have a resolve and a burning desire, as Napoleon Hill would say. And then principle number 2 is talking about facing your fears. And that's where a lot of us fall off the wagon. We're just too afraid to even look at the shoebox or the baggies full of statements that we're going to organize. So that's part of that process. And then the last one is to protect. And the first thing we have to do is protect that mindset, because we can do some nasty conversations with ourselves, and we have to talk our way out of that and remember the way out, which for me, there's a new definition of fear: finding experiences and actions that gave results. So it's looking back and seeing where you've been successful already and what skills did that take and bringing it forward to the money part right now.
Right. Because if you did it before, you can do it again, right?
Yeah,
Right. And
absolutely.
yeah, and that self-talk is so important in many areas of your life. And I guess I hadn't thought about it with money, but that's an excellent point.
Which one?
When you talk about how you talk to yourself about money, because if you continually beat yourself up about it and how bad you've been about managing it and not having the discipline, some more positive self-talk around that, I think would be a great idea or
Well,
a
it's the
great
guilt and
task.
shame, the guilt and shame that holds us back.
Right.
And it's also, I'm in a mastermind group now with on Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's book, a famous book of 1937. And now I really get it. And there's a part in his book where he says money is like a maiden. She wants to be wooed. She wants to be sought after. She wants to be uh, important to you. So when you start looking at it that way instead of lack, because that's how many of us that are stuck, not where we want to be financially, we're thinking the opposite. We're going in the negative direction. So we got to pull that back and even play with it. We've got to play with money more, have more fun with money. Even if you don't have any, you still put it out there what you want to have. And that is a law of attraction if you believe in that. And some don't. So either way, it's still a mindset.
Well, it worked for Napoleon Hill and millions of people. So there you go.
You have it.
So now, June, I've noticed that you have started calling yourself Intentionally June. So I want you to tell me about that. How did you come to be known as Intentionally June?
Oh goodness, it was during the pandemic, as I call it, um, somewhere about month 3 or 4 of this. I really started, it affected me. I mean, I did okay at the beginning, at the shock of it, but the longer it gets, can I say, the more pissed off I get? I don't know if I can say that. You can edit out that. The more frustrated I get over it, and I found myself really needing to be in intention. And I don't know, it just came to my brain. Why don't you just start being intentionally June Cline and doing what you think you want to do and doing what you say you want to do in spite of the pandemic? So I can credit it back to that.
I think that's great because it has to do with the discipline again. Be intentional, right? Be
Be who you
disciplined.
are. Yes, be who you are. And
Yeah.
I think, especially oftentimes on social media, we measure and we try to compare ourselves and do that level up thing. And I found the more I just come on and talk about what's going on, almost a social commentary kind of thing, but with a point, with a message, then I have a video that, this is little to some, but it's 1.1K views about a week and a half ago. And that blew my mind. It's like, really? So that was exciting.
Man, that is great. Well, June, this is an exciting adventure that you're on, and I'm really, because I know you personally, I am really happy to see you take this on, and I know you're going to be really, really great at it. And thank you for being on the show today. You've given our viewers some great advice, and people need to get in touch with you right away.
Well, you're going to leave that information for them, I'm sure. And I thank you so much. Again, congratulations on your new format and what you're doing. And you are doing an important job as well. We've got to be in front and give them intentionally hope.
Ah, love it. Thanks, June.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Business Notes. We've been speaking with June Cline, longtime financial literacy consultant, speaker, humorist, author, and entrepreneur. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, bringing you business ideas you can bank on.